Moving on to the Big Blue Detroit Lions.
They're good.
They're very good.
They've been bad so long, but they're good.
Yeah.
I'm going to sum up all of their offensive stats and rankings. They're a top 5 offense, passing, rushing, points. Maybe one of them was top 6. I don't know exactly, but they're amazing. Coaches staying the same. Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson.
Cries a lot.
True. In the way you want.
Dan Campbell cries a lot. It's great. Ben Johnson wanted to stay with the team, had the opportunity to leave, wanted to stay with the team.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Which
I bet Dan cried when he heard the news.
I feel like I would make that same decision. Like, do you want to wait a year and probably still become a head coach, or do you want to coach the Carolina Panthers?
Yes, and the answer is always no to the latter.
Yeah.
O-line, still very good.
They were excellent. They'll stay excellent. Not really an edge to find there.
Yeah. Quarterback position, Jared Goff, you have him here 7th last season, is that correct?
Yes. He's being ranked as QB 14, 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, which doesn't seem like a lot for him. I feel like that could go up this year.
He was real consistent last year of not throwing interceptions. A little bit later in the season, if I remember correctly, he started to throw some more.
Actually, now that I think about that, I think the year before he ended, so last year was 2023, 2022 was also low interceptions to end the year. Just kind of a late career growth for him to cut down on interceptions like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Running back position.
Josh Gibbs. Is that his name? Josh?
Jahmyr Gibbs.
It's not Josh.
When in doubt, just Josh it out. That's what we always say here.
Just say what comes to mind and hope that someone knows the right answer. Gibbs, he's excellent. He's being ranked at 4 or 5, and it'll change depending on what type of PPR setting your league uses. He's great. There's not a ton to say here. There's nothing I can say that's going to really. There's no secret sauce. Just get him. Is basically it. There is secret sauce at David Montgomery. He was finished as running back 13 last year. He missed a good chunk of time, and he right now is being ranked at 19. Other weeks I've seen him in the low 20s. He's still going to be used at the goal line a ton. He's still going to be getting carries throughout the game. This offense uses a guy like this really well. We saw it before David Montgomery was there with Jamal Williams. Correct me on that.
That sounds right.
It sounds right.
Let's go with Josh just in case.
Let's just go with Josh. Yeah, they're gonna be good. I think David Montgomery is a good value pick there. If you're getting him as your running back too, like, you're solid, because he's gonna be I think he's gonna give you a lot of top 10 weeks with touchdowns.
Yeah. He's a real run and gun, blast it in kind of guy there.
Just blast it.
Run and gun's not the right term. Who cares? It sounded cool. Wide receiver position, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown.
It would be sick if he was out there with a gun, though.
With a whole gun. Yes, just running. He gets 2 bullets per game.
Yeah. Put him in at the goal line and he's got a Desert Eagle.
Can only be fired after the hike.
Oh, right. Wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was wide receiver 3 last year in half PPR. He's going in the top 5. He's excellent. I think he's locked in at number 5. I don't see him jumping any of the guys ahead of him. I personally wouldn't. He's good.
But still, if you end up with an Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's very good. And with the way the wide receiver room has changed this offseason, I think he gets a teensy-weensy bit better. So their wide receiver 2 is gone. I think his name was Josh.
Sure.
Josh Palmer, Josh Reynolds, Josh something. He's a good NFL player who is not on this team anymore.
Yeah. I had him for a bit. He carried me when he was hot. We're not talking about him anymore. So they have Jamison Williams right now is what you believe is there too?
Just kind of the anti-made-up Josh. His name might not have been Josh. I don't But Jameson Williams, he's a former first-round pick. I think he was 12th overall in 2022. He was hurt at the time of getting drafted. So he played a couple games at the end of that year, then played last year and was not put into a position of prominence. But he's now for sure the number 2 guy on this team. So he has upside. I also wrote as a note, like, he could be the reason this team doesn't repeat as a top 5 offense. Like, they want this guy to be great. He has not been yet. He's now in the role where they need him to be at least good, and we don't know that he can even do that.
Yeah.
Or he could be amazing. He was the number 1 receiver taken that year, I think, even though he wasn't going to play that year.
Yeah.
We just haven't seen it yet. Either way, he's going as Jameson Williams going as wide receiver 48. So you could take a flyer on him. It's not going to hurt you a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a good offense. You still have the same offensive coordinator that everybody wanted. Take a shot.
They love him.
Everybody. Tight end position, my road dog from last season.
The tightest end.
Picked him up undrafted. I think I spent $5 maybe just to make sure I got it locked in because he had a good game, and then I just rode him all the way home.
Sam Laporta. He finished as tight end 1. According to what I have in the notes, he's consensus rank number 1. He's great. There's like not a ton to say about him. Just he's the best, or second best, or third best, but it doesn't really matter. I think this is a great example of how you should think of all fantasy football ranks. Like, we've been talking a ton about quarterbacks. You should not be drafting quarterbacks early because there's so many great ones. A similar thing is happening this year with tight end. Like, some years there's tight ends in the first round. This year it should be tight ends like third round and later, just because there are more great ones and more usable ones.
However, Sam Laporta is an absolute lock number 1. Not like overall in your draft, but I'm saying at the tight end position, he is going to be your number 1.
I could see Travis Kelce bouncing back. Other guy,
true.
maybe a Mark Andrews, but yeah, he's a top guy, and because there's so many guys up at the top there, you probably take him like third round or later.
Yeah. My thought also, not only is he really good and he performed really well last year, your head coach is also a tight end, and I would like to believe that also affected it.
I'd like to believe that did it. Yeah.
I mean, it can't hurt. How many tight end head coaches are there right now that have a good tight end on their team?
I don't know. We can look into it. I won't look into it.
But
it's something either. We could look into.
Yeah. Do you think all tight ends cry as much as Dan Campbell?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Big 3 takeaway
I really
here.
Do.
Who is your biggest takeaway for this team? Amon-Ra?
David Montgomery's my biggest.
That's your best value player,
that's my best value. Say. Yeah. Which what's the biggest takeaway even mean? It means, like, I don't know. We get to pick what it means. This is the one that I feel like I have things to say about. Like, I don't have anything to say about Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, I have so little to say about him, I forgot his first name. David Montgomery, I feel like you'll get value. Jared Goff looks like he's just getting better than he was when he was with the Rams. And third, Jameson Williams has upside.